Six Flags is about to announce one of the greatest lineups of new additions in the chain's history for 2025. Six Flags has already confirmed they plan to spend between $220 and $250 million on new attractions for the 2025 season, opening high-quality attractions at their parks across the United States. Some of the new coasters coming for 2025 may even be the best and the most expensive rides the parks have opened in over 20 years. Construction has even already begun on one major coaster that looks like it may even become the best coaster to open worldwide in 2025. Six Flags is truly about to surprise us all with a slew of incredible new additions to their parks for the 2025 season. While the Six Flags and Cedar Fair merger is going to change the way both companies operate and potentially affect some of the future investments to the parks, none of that will matter for 2025. Six Flags already planned all their 2025 additions long before the merger, and they likely already put down payments on all major planned 2025 attractions. That's why I think we'll see the usual 3 or 4 new coasters from the chain, but I think some unexpected parks may be about to get major investments. Let's start with Six Flags Over Texas, who I think is going to get a brand new flat ride package. This park could use a new coaster, with their last one being a smaller scale coaster opening in 2023, delayed from 2020, but I think they're going to have to wait a bit longer for potentially the largest coaster in the park's history. But that's a topic for another video, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. I've been working on some of the best videos I've ever released on the channel, and I hate for you to miss out on them. We're getting very close to 3,000 subscribers, and I appreciate all of the support this channel has been getting lately. Six Flags Great Escape is a park I think will take an off year, focusing on park improvements in 2025. The park finally got an original ground-up coaster for 2024, so I don't think we'll be seeing anything major here for a while. Six Flags Magic Mountain looks to be getting the largest addition to the park in 20 years. Construction has already begun, and the park is preparing a massive plot of land where their next coaster will likely open in 2025. Magic Mountain's next coaster can be a lot of different things, but I'll go through the most likely options. First of all, it's possible Magic Mountain will get a clone of Flash Vertical Velocity, which is coming to Six Flags Great Adventure in 2024. It's also possible that the park goes with a larger custom multi-launch coaster from either Vekoma or Intamin. The park would have to make it different enough from West Coast racers, so it would likely be a taller and faster ride. While I think these are the most likely options, I wouldn't rule out a B&M Giga, Dive, or even Wing Coaster as possible options, and a Mack Extreme Spinner would also be a great fit here. It's also possible we will see the first RMC T-Rex come to Magic Mountain in 2025. I did an entire video on Magic Mountain's next coaster, so if you want more details, you can watch that after this. Six Flags Darien Lake, I don't think we'll be getting anything major for 2025. I think the park will focus on landscaping and park improvements, and maybe they'll even get some sort of flat ride. Six Flags Over Georgia just got their newest coaster for 2024, and though it isn't the largest addition, it likely means they won't be getting anything major for 2025. I could see the park focus on park improvements or even put a little work into the water park, but I wouldn't expect anything major here. Six Flags America, I think, will be in for a huge treat in 2025. I think it's finally the year we'll get to see Roar get RMC'd, and it'll finally give this park the standout coaster they really need. Six Flags America is not really that bad of a park, and the park has a ton of potential with the surrounding population centers in the region. I think over the next decade, Six Flags America will continue to improve, eventually becoming one of the top parks in the chain. The park got some decent new additions for the 2024 season, and it seems everything is lining up for the park to finally get a major new coaster. If RMC Roar doesn't happen though, then I could see a large RMC Raptor clone open here in 2025. Six Flags St. Louis is another park I think is headed for a brighter future over the next couple of years. I think the park will get a flat ride package for the 2025 season, waiting just a couple of more years before they finally open a major coaster. Six Flags Great Adventure is a park I think will almost definitely open a brand new major coaster for the 2025 season. This park originally was supposed to get something major for 2024 for their 50th anniversary. A B&M Giga had been originally in the plans, but the park canceled that last minute. The park then decided to schedule their major new coaster for 2025. Last minute, Six Flags got a chance to purchase the new gen Vekoma Boomerang clone for a discounted price after another park canceled their purchase. Six Flags decided to send this coaster to Great Adventure for their 50th anniversary, and that likely won't affect the park's major 2025 coaster. Great Adventure has been experiencing a massive boost in investment over the last couple of years, and the park needs a lot more to get it back to the level it once was. I don't want to go into too much detail, but Great Adventure is headed for greatness, with the park now being renamed Six Flags Great Adventure Resort. I think the park will either get their originally planned B&M Giga for 2025, or I think they'll get a major multi-launch coaster from Intamin. There's a lot of evidence pointing to some major things coming to Six Flags Great Adventure over the next few years. And if you want to stay in the loop, be sure to check out Hollywood Studios' channel. He has the latest and greatest with Six Flags Great Adventure, and he's even interviewed the CEO Salim Basul more than once. Great Adventure's 2025 coaster may possibly be even bigger than Magic Mountain's 2025 coaster, and both will likely be the largest investments the company has made in 20 years. There's one more surprising park that I think could open a major coaster in 2025, but I'll get to that soon. Moving on to Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, where I don't think any new rides will be coming in 2025. I don't think this park will get anything new at all, but if they do, I think it'll be something in the animal form similar to the Butterfly Garden they recently opened. I also don't think La Ronde will get anything major. Though it would be awesome for this park to RMC Monster, I just don't see it happening in 2025 or any time in the near future. I could see Frontier City decide to open some sort of kids coaster. Maybe they'll get one of those kids Flash Dueling Skyline coasters, or maybe they'll get nothing at all. This park is a really interesting one, and I wouldn't be surprised if the chain gives them some solid investments over the next few years. Six Flags Mexico hasn't gotten a coaster in a really long time, and while I think one is coming in the next couple of years, I think the park will have to wait a bit longer before they get a nice new major coaster. I wouldn't expect much here in 2025 aside from a couple of park improvements. Six Flags Mexico doesn't have much competition, so if the chain has to delay any park from getting a new coaster, this one is their best option. Six Flags Fiesta Texas will be 3 years from their latest coaster in 2025. This park never fails to disappoint when it comes to new additions, and it would make a lot of sense for this park to open a new 2025 coaster. I do think it's a very possible option, and I would not be surprised at all if Fiesta Texas opened a new coaster in 2025. I think they would probably get a B&M Hypercoaster, but there are a couple of other options that would be great fits here too. A Vekoma or Intamin High Thrill Launch Coaster could be a great fit at the park, but regardless of what they get, I'm sure the park's president Jeffrey Siebert would make sure it's a perfect new, thrilling, well-themed addition. If the park doesn't get a 2025 coaster, it will likely be because there's another park I'm about to mention that needs it a lot more. In that case, I think Fiesta Texas would get a major flat ride like an S&S Scream and Swing for 2025, pushing back their new coaster for just one more year. Six Flags New England is the park I was referring to that desperately needs a new coaster. Between New England and Fiesta Texas, I think only one of them will be getting a new coaster in 2025, and the other will have to wait for 2026. New England desperately needs a new coaster, and I would not be shocked to see them get it in 2025. There's a ton of coaster options that would be great fits at New England, but they desperately need a launch coaster. They could also use another major coaster that has very good capacity, as they only have one B&M currently. I could see a surf coaster or a launch B&M wing coming here in 2025, unless the park gets an Intamin or Vekoma multi-launch coaster. If New England doesn't get a new coaster in 2025, then I'd expect a major flat ride package here along with a slew of park improvements. There's one park I haven't mentioned yet, and that is Six Flags Great America. This park is one of the largest Six Flags parks yet. It hasn't seen a new coaster since 2019. I think there's a lot going on in regards to this park's next coaster, and they may even have to wait a little longer before getting one of the largest investments in the park's history. I have an entire video going through Six Flags Great America's next coaster, and though everyone seems to be predicting a new coaster here in 2025, I actually think there's a lot of evidence pointing to it coming in 2026. Click here to watch my predictions for Six Flags Great America's next coaster, and though they may have to wait one more year, it'll definitely be well worth it.